I'm Michelle Martin. I'm a senior now and I studied abroad in Seville, Spain. I have lived in Homestay. I did a single person homestay, so I didn't really want to live with the family. So I just lived with an older woman. Her name was Maria. I got to learn a lot about the culture through her. She was literally the cutest person ever. My house was an apartment. It was actually relatively large, really nice. Like I had a great room to myself, a lot of storage, everything like that. I lived about 25-minute walk from my school in a really cool historic neighborhood in Sevilla. One of the main pros of doing a homestay is definitely the language. You get to really practice that, and not just in a classroom setting, but in an actual real life communication setting. And then on top of that, you just get to see how the people in that country live. It's full immersion, all the food that you eat, the activities that they tell you about. Point of insecurity for a lot of people is the what if situation. So like, what if I don't like my homestay? What if I'm not living in an area that is close to all my friends? And the only thing I can say about that is that the programs really vet their homestays. They make sure that the people who are hosting aren't just doing it for, you know, the wrong reasons. So I know for my friends who were vegetarian or vegan or who had dietary restrictions, it was a little bit more difficult. They don't really understand people who don't eat meat because that's not a super common thing there. They might not get along perfectly, but their home was still a nice place to live, you know. When you are in a homestay, you just have to be really respectful and also be conscious of cultural norms. Bring kind of a thank you gift for the beginning. I think that's a really good thing to do. This person's welcoming you into their home and just bringing something that maybe represents your hometown or New Orleans. I think that's a really thoughtful thing to do, to show up with. I would recommend being very open when you're in a homestay situation and not being afraid of some of the awkward conversations at first, because it is going to feel awkward. You know, you're all of a sudden living in someone else's home. A lot of times you don't speak the language, but just inserting yourself in situations where you can get accustomed to that. I just would say make a point to hang out with your host family or your, you know, host mom, whatever, because they're excited to have you. I am kind of in the belief that if you feel comfortable enough in your language abilities, especially if it's in a foreign country, you know, a language barrier, you should 100% do a homestay. I think that it added an unparalleled element to my abroad experience. I think the benefits that you get from being in a homestay totally outweigh any of the bad things that, you know, bad experiences that you potentially have. And I didn't know anyone really who had a poor homestay experience in my program anyway.